Not right. They don't care about us.
For more than a decade, most of these ladies made Beacon Ridge Apartments their home.
Yeah, I ain't got nowhere to go. But they just don't care.
But now these Section 8 residents are being forced to find another place to live and have not been told why.
How they just gonna put us out like that? They ain't said why we got to move. I ain't did nothing. I ain't did a thing.
Several residents received notices on Monday telling them that regardless of when their lease is up, they are required to surrender the premises to management on or before January 31st of next year, and that failure to do so will result in legal action.
So I'm just really concerned about that, and so they hadn't gave us but 60 days to move. How you gonna find a place to move and they getting your best day in January?
So Atlanta News First went to the leasing office to find out why they're evicting Section 8 residents, but they locked the door and never called us to explain.
There's a lot of us out here that ain't got nowhere to go. And then it's hard to find Section 8. It's not right. They don't care.
Dime out of their own. Our Section 8 tenant hasn't paid a dime out of their own pocket since November of 2021. That's almost 4 years of non-payment. And today, now that the eviction's finally over, we're going to go inside and see just how badly they've trashed this place. I mean, this is pretty trashy, and it's not all that surprising. I mean, the warning signs were all there, right? Being on Section 8, not paying $5 a month. Your share was $5 a month.
$5?
You couldn't or you wouldn't
month?
pay it, right? What kind of respect does that show for anything? And, well, that question is answered by the way you've treated the property. What the hell is that? I mean, here you go, shocker, right? Got an ashtray in the place. You've got ash everywhere. I mean, everything is coated with ash. All right, so on to the next bedroom. Remember, this is a 3-bedroom apartment in Massachusetts. This place was, wow, that's a lot of crap. Oh my God. I mean, I wish I could tell you I'm utterly shocked and who could live like this. I know who can live like this. You see it a lot on our channel. And here we go, another red flag for you. Not a smoke detector in sight. All right, so what happens now? Well, we're gonna do a trash out. We're gonna have a dumpster pull up. We're gonna get this place turned around really nice. And I hope you guys stick around because I wanna show you the transformation of how nice this place is gonna look when it's all ready and back on track again. And then I wanna show you a little bit more about a screening process to hopefully weed out and avoid this happening again in the same apartment. Stay tuned. Our second.
Wow. So really understand. They hadn't paid rent for 4 years. They hadn't paid their portion. By their portion, of course, Section 8 pays the lion's share of the rent. As we can see, more than the lion's share. All they were responsible for was $5 a month that they had to pay. All they had to do was put 5 on it. That's it. And they couldn't even do that. They refused to do that. And like he said, that really just speaks to the entitlement, as well as what I think they were probably doing was taking advantage of maybe a more tenant-friendly state. Because I believe Boston is more against the landlord and more tenant-friendly, especially when it comes to trying to evict somebody, because it's very cold up there too. So you evicting people can have real implications, life or death implications, right? So it sounds like they already had a sweet deal. And because of the state being more tenant friendly, they were able to take advantage. But imagine just taking advantage of just $5. Like, you don't want no good karma, huh? You couldn't just pay $5 just because you don't got to, you didn't. Ain't that something? That is the entitlement. And that is why it's just so egregious at this point. Excuse me. And this is starting to just be a character thing at this point. It's starting to just be a character thing. And it really doesn't make. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Helps more than you know. Only takes a second. And also if you could hype.
Me and my kids are getting evicted out of our apartment. Let me tell y'all why while I clean up their room.
Oh, shoot. We don't need no context. I seen exactly why y'all getting kicked out. Y'all a health hazard. Shoot, you must be one of them gentle parents.
That's crazy. Wait a second. We got to see that again.
Me and my kids are getting evicted out of our apartment.
See, now this don't make no sense. Parents, this is what I mean when I say surviving with kids as opposed to actually having kids to raise some kids. Because You are absolutely not doing your job. How are you letting your kids live like this? This isn't even something that you actively have to do. This is just something you literally just have to enforce, which I believe comes down to attentiveness. Being attentive to your kids and making sure they're picking up good habits early so that later in life it doesn't become a bigger issue. And that's part of your job. And they're not going to like it. Maybe they won't understand it, but it's ultimately going to be best for them. And what it appears here is that you're not doing your job. You're not doing your job. You're not raising the kids. So what are we doing? Who knows?
Let me tell y'all why while I clean up their room.
Oh shoot, we don't need no context. I seen exactly why y'all getting kicked out. Y'all a health hazard. Shoot, you must be one of them gentle parents. My parents had 5 kids, dishwasher, vacuum, washer, dryer, and me, Lysol. And best believe, if I even dreamed about sleeping in a room that dirty, they'd have knocked me in the next week. And when Thursday came, I've been cleaning up again.
Me and my kids are getting evicted.
So if you've been on Section 8 for 20, 30, 40 years, they're telling you that you got to be out of there within like the next, I think, 60 days. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're letting you know that it's no longer. But they're giving you a 2-year grace period if you just recently own it. But the Section 8 program is being cut. You got to get out.
The problem is most of these kids aren't going to college. Section 8 has caught on, so they're like, what do we just let people mooch off the government? The problem is I have, and I respect everybody's opinion. Thank you for saying this. And I do think that sometimes the system can be faltered and faulty, but it's very small. It's very, very small. The real question is, why has your mother been on Section 8 for 20 years and now you want to get a job and go to college and she doesn't have a mortgage on a house?
So if you didn't know already, for the last couple years or even the last couple decades, there's been people taking advantage of the Section 8 program, and it's starting to look like it's catching up to them. Because apparently those same rules that was in place to allow those people inside the program aren't in place anymore. So now most of those people that was on Section 8 are being kicked off.
I wasn't even going to respond to this comment, but it's comments like this and it's people like this that really irritate me, because why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? Why are you so happy that they're doing away with the Section 8 program? Because you don't have it? Oh well. These people with these tax dollars, oh, we tired of paying y'all bills, our tax dollars, y'all just slaves to the system. That's all. You're slaves to the system and you're mad about it. This is not your work.
Well, I think that's the point, right? She just defeated her own argument by making the point. You're basically saying that the taxpayers are slaves to the system, and you being on Section 8, you don't have to work, so you have your freedom. And yes, I think that is the argument, that the taxpayers are slaves to paying for things that they don't agree with, but they have to still fund it and pay for it, even though they don't agree with it and they don't think that they should. And so to say, why are they mad? Should a slave not be mad? Because that's what you just called them. But see, you didn't correlate the fact that the system that they're slaves to is things like this, paying for things that they don't agree with and that they know people are taking advantage of.
You don't own this world. God does. You just here. You're just here and you're mad and you're miserable and you need to do something about it. Don't be mad at people who get assistance. It's help. It's still help. We tired of y'all too.
Do you know how many people out there have been on Section 8 for years and even passed it down to their kids? So you're telling me their kids need to be on Section 8 before they even get a chance to figure things out for themselves? There are people out there who have been taking advantage of the system for years, and it's stopping those that actually need help from actually getting it. So honestly, I think that's really what's getting people upset.
What's up, y'all? Because I keep getting a lot of people to ask me, let's talk about One Big Beautiful Bill Act. No, it did not affect your Section 8 voucher. It's not a part of the bill. He tried, though. Donald Trump's administration did not eliminate Section 8. However, he did try to propose some changes. Those that he did try, it was automatically blocked by Congress. What to propose was raising the minimum rent for Section 8 holders from $50 to $150. He tried. There were also proposals
It's been a minute, you guys, and I'm so sorry for my 1 month hiatus. I am back and I'm ready to serve you guys with information. If you are on eviction and you know that you're on eviction and you're getting closer and closer and closer to the sheriff's coming to get you, you need to vacate immediately. And let me tell you why. Hi, my name is Tiara. I'm an assistant manager, and I'm going to tell you why it's important to just vacate if you're on eviction status. Because it'll save an eviction from going on your record. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're in the eviction status, you're struggling to pay your rent, all these things, and you're freaking out, and you're unsure what to do next. I would recommend you vacate if you know that you're awaiting the sheriff, because if you just move out and give back the keys and possessions to the landlord, we do not record the eviction, and all you'll be responsible for is the whatever rental debt you might have. So note to self, if you are someone or know someone who is on eviction and they are unsure what to do and they're awaiting the sheriff's coming, tell them to move out. Or if it's you, move out. I know it's scary, but it'll save you the eviction being recorded on the record, and you'll only have the rental collection, which eventually will get paid.
Well, guys.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
She got put out.
That is a lot of stuff in one apartment.
Her baby's in the car. Her things have been out here since...
That's crazy.
10 a.m. And this is all she's been doing.
And you know she just gonna pick through that stuff.
Procrastinating.
Oh my goodness. She's a hoarder.
Whew.
Y'all, before we get into this video, wanted to read the caption. So the caption goes as follows. I'm a 32-year-old single woman who is facing eviction because I lost my job due to mental health issues. Don't know what that means. I hope she elaborates. I wasn't able to pay rent because of this, so now I'm facing eviction. I'm working now and trying to pay back what I owe, but the amount is too much for me to be able to pay back on my own. I know everyone is struggling in these times, and that's why I feel so stupid that I'm in this situation, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm working full-time while trying to better my mental health so I don't get in this situation ever again. It's hard when you're alone.
I wish I could be able to make those kind of videos where people ask for help and they're able to like advocate for themselves and like, you know, talk about their problems and be able to get help for them. But I'm not like that. I don't think I'm confident enough to make videos like that because I don't know. But if you know, I don't know, if anybody is like willing to help donate, my link is in the bio. It sounds so fucking stupid. I feel so stupid. But it's like I need help and it's just like I don't know what to do.
And the Oscar award goes to... So, wait a second. I know she didn't try to come on here and virtue signal and basically say, oh, I hate asking for anything and I would never do that. But she tried to reframe it and then say, but today I'm going to advocate on my behalf. I never advocate on my behalf. Just advocate on my behalf sounds like a very selfish statement just in itself. Like, I'm going to advocate on my behalf. What does that even mean? Advocate on your behalf with your actions and just take responsibility for your behalf. But I want to really focus on this because isn't that crazy? For one, I don't like when we're talking about this vague stuff, my mental health issues, because a lot of people do that now. Like now you can call out of work 5 minutes before you're supposed to be there talking about you need a mental health day. And that's valid. Listen, I think it's funny that she basically brought up the fact that she lost her job because she was having mental health issues. She didn't elaborate further. But then someone with mental health issues then went on to use reverse psychology in order to do the thing that she was saying that she doesn't do. Here's what I mean. Oh, I don't beg. I don't have the confidence to come on here and ask for money. Then proceeds to ask for money. Ma'am, it's like you're trying to separate yourself from that half of the segment, but then proceeds to do the same actions and behaviors that half of the segment does. That's why I said it's like she tried to use reverse psychology, and I feel like it may be manipulation in a way to a certain degree. But what do we mean mental health issues? Because it's one thing if you're physically impaired, or maybe even if you get hurt on the job, or if you just get hurt in general and you physically can't go to work, or it's physically hard to go to work. But mental health issues preventing you from going to work, we don't have any way of quantifying that. We don't have any way of really truly understanding that. We just have to take your word for that. And I think you can still get up and go to work. I think it's physically possible. It's physically possible for you to get up, go do the job, regardless of whatever's you're dealing with mentally. And then after work, you can go and do what you need to do because you have real responsibilities. And listen, man, if you don't pay me my rent that you owe me, I'm going to start having mental health issues. So whose mental health issues are we prioritizing? My mental health issues are going to be a lot darker, and I'm going to start thinking of things that I wouldn't normally think of, which could give me some prison time. Y'all, let's go ahead and get into the next clip.
Just finished watching a video about a boyfriend snitching on his girlfriend who's on Section 8, and I'm questioning. So the video talks about, the person who talks about this post was talking about the mother got kicked out within 24 hours because Section 8 issued an eviction notice, and I'm just like, with the courts, it doesn't usually go that fast. So is this something that is true? Because I don't know it to be true. I'm talking from going through the courts for back rent standpoint and them having to go several months. Is that a thing? Before they can even like issue you a kick out. Now, I don't know if it's different because of Section 8 and it's issued to you because it's an emergency. Like if you go through Section 8, sometimes a lot of girls go through Section 8 because they need shelter, right? So they go to the shelter and then they get Section 8 voucher and they get an apartment. Oftentimes their boyfriends come with them, but the boyfriend in this case was said to have snitched on her. That's so messed up. This is why, first of all, don't even tell him you're on Section 8. Like don't give somebody an upper hand. And then two, like that's messed up on him for doing that. I don't know if that was the baby daddy or just a boyfriend, but either way, like Section 8 is made for you to get yourself together, not for you and your boyfriend to shack up. Because what is he doing? He's getting a free ride, essentially. And then for him to go and snitch on you and then you get kicked out, like, that's a major look back for him. And now you're struggling? They should have at least issued a warning to her, have him kicked out as a remedy. But the video said he provided proof. He went to Section 8, told that, yeah, I was living with her. They said provide proof. Apparently, I guess he did. I don't know how true the story is, but it's worth talking about because a lot of people are on Section 8. A lot of moms, women are in Section 8 and do shack up. I mean, this is New York. If you know, you know. So this might be good information for you guys to know that this is a consequence, or do you already know the consequences and I just take risk? Because I wouldn't take that type of risk. You can't live there. You could come spend the night. You can't live there and receive mail. That's the first mistake, like ever. I don't care if you need my address for a moment. What? I even really want this out for real because now the men might have like something else to add because so many people do it. So many people do it. And I get it. You want to have your boo next to you, but like today's guy, they on something else. So be careful.
Everybody's on something else. She said, if you need my address, don't, but you can still come spend the night. If they spend the night, they're going to have your address. I'm going to let y'all comment on that situation because I want to stick on the mental health thing for a second. And I'm going to even be transparent. Listen, this morning, I had some mental health issues. And I'm being so serious. Oh, how nice it would have been to just stay in my bed and just doom scroll. And if you don't know what doom scrolling is, just think about the people who always have their phone to their face like this. And by the time you done scrolled a million different things and went on a million different social media platforms, your brain is basically mashed potatoes. It went from a potato and it turned into mashed potatoes, and you don't have any sense of direction and you're just confused and pretty much just throw the whole day away. Oh, how nice it would have been to just stay in the bed and just doom scroll. And I had a mental battle, internal struggle, but ultimately I had to get up and handle my responsibilities like an adult should. And I think this is the bigger issue, especially when we look at government assistance. And it even relates to some of the videos that we've reviewed today, right? Because the theme typically is that people have an issue with people where you see them and they're able bodied, a lot of times even young, like she was, even young, and yet they're claiming that they need government assistance programs and they're taking up space for the people who actually physically need it, whether it's physically because you've been injured in the military, physically because you're elderly and you can't work like a young person could work to be able to provide for yourself, or even physically as in a disabled person who didn't choose to be disabled. And so what? Is that why you're taking up space on these programs from the people who actually need it and they have to get on a waiting list because you have mental health issues? We all have mental health issues when we have to do something and have to handle responsibilities that we don't necessarily want to do, and it doesn't align with what we would prefer to do. Yes, we have you're going to go through traumatic situations in life. We all do. So what's stopping us from all having a claim to having mental health issues? There's people who have mental health issues when they think about the fact that they have to pay taxes for other people who just don't want to work, and they're bearing through it. They're gritting their teeth and they're still going and doing what they have to do. But then they see that you just get a free, you just get to get on the escape hatch. That can cause mental health issues. A lot of things can trigger mental health issues. Ultimately, we're adults. Ultimately, we have to contribute our part, our share. And when we all do that collectively, what happens is we have a beautiful ecosystem where we're all able to kind of take care of each other, and we all do our part in this society, and we all are productive. And funny enough, what will happen is a lot of those mental health issues, when you just get up and do the things you don't necessarily want to do, but you feel proud of yourself because you did it, that'll clear up. But ultimately as well, ma'am, you're on social media right now. I think if you get off social media, that'll clear up your mental health issues to a large degree, and it'll have a big impact. But we're going to leave it there for today, y'all. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. Hype was designed for smaller content creators, and smaller content creators get more points per hype. So your hypes actually goes farther when you support smaller content creators. And then also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.